Oh man! Wow! Finally made it out of there. Made out. Wait, Austin, I'm still on the other side. What's going on? I thought we made it out. Help me! I need your help. Get me out of here. No, it's please. I need to get out. I
The
think I
Duffer
made.
Brothers.
I think. I think I made it. I think I made it. It folded in on me. I thought it was gone. Oh man.
My name is Austin.
My name's Josiah. I think, guys.
And we are the
The
super
super cinema
cinema
bros.
bros
Welcome
super
in,
cinema bros.
guys. We the Super Cinema
Hey guys, what's
Bros
going on?
just made
What's
it back right from the midst of everything seconds ago. What is up? How's it going, Austin?
what's going on, Josiah? Happy New
Bro,
Year.
Happy New Year. Doing way better now. Way better now. I tried saving Benny. We tried going back through the wormhole, saving Benny episode 1. I'm sorry, Benny. Family, we couldn't get him. We couldn't get him. It was a good attempt though. It was a good attempt, Anyways. But yeah, we're here. You're all here. Welcome on in. Super Cinema Bros covering Stranger Things season 5, episode 8, the finale of the season, the finale of the entire series. We've been on this journey for what, a decade? Better part of a decade?
Yeah,
11,
I guess
11
so.
years? Something
Yeah.
like that. Man, it's an event. I was
So,
talking to my wife about it. It's like this last decade. This is the Harry Potter of this decade. Harry Potter was the Harry
am I
Potter
pointing in
of
the right
the earlier
direction?
decade.
Right. Am I pointing in the right direction?
You are. There it is, right
All right.
there.
Before we get anywhere else, man, like, can we just say, like, whoever did the artwork for this poster, like, hang on. Um, my mouse clicker's stuck. It's just gonna be like this for the whole episode. All right. Yeah. This poster, no matter how you feel about the season or the finale, this poster is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the way Vecna's illustrated, and like
Okay.
this is done. This is some fantastic artwork. Um, fantastic. Anyway, I just wanted
Yeah,
to say
bro.
that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, very, very reminiscent of the time period. I'm forgetting the name of the super famous poster creator of like
Yeah, he recently
Raiders of the
passed
Lost
away.
Ark. Yeah.
He recently passed. May he rest in peace. He did.
Man,
He's the front runner for all this stuff. He did. I mean,
man
that guy was
changed the
amazing.
game.
All my favorite movies he did. All of the Spielberg movies he did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He's the
So
he's the he's the Mobius of the poster world. That said, for a time period before him, though, one could argue Saul Bass or something like that. But that's for your you graphic design poster fiends out there. Yeah,
yeah, fantastic poster.
yeah.
If nothing else, the poster is A+.
Only thing I would have been done different is Vecna's handout is okay. I personally would have loved it if it were his grabby tentacle hand, and if it were like sending tentacles like 3D in towards camera. But you know what? Look, it's a good poster. Everyone's got the red glow going on. They fit in a billion characters. It's got the red and the blue, the dramatic poster colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some important moments like the tower and the radio station, the band. Yeah, man. Yeah.
True. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So here we go. Let me pull up our intrepid our intrepid synopsis.
Yeah.
So how do we want to do this, Josiah? Do we want to do like a synopsis of hang on, let me do this. Let
Okay.
me give you guys the basic premise that Wikipedia provides for
Okay.
season 5
Okay. Okay.
as a prologue to the synopsis for
Episode 8.
season 5, chapter 8, The Right Side Up. All right, so the premise for season 5 is after the events of the fourth season in the fall of 1987, the group, the kids and the adults, seeks to find and kill Vecna following the opening of rifts throughout Hawkins. Their mission becomes more complicated when the military establishes a quarantine in town and begins hunting 11. As the anniversary of Will Byers' disappearance approaches, the group must unite for a final battle against a new deadly threat. All right. So, with that in the backdrop, let me read the synopsis for Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 8, The Right Side Up. We'll get this out of the way and then we'll start talking about some things. All right. Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 8, The Right Side Up brings the series to its climactic conclusion as multiple groups converge for a final confrontation with Henry Creel slash Vecna in the Upside Down itself. While one team climbs the WSQK radio tower in the Upside Down, attempting to reach a mysterious descending phenomenon called the Abyss, 11 uses a sensory deprivation tank at Hawkins' lab to enter Henry's mindscape alongside Callie and Max in search of the abducted children, including Holly Wheeler, as both groups face escalating dangers from the unstable structures and monstrous threats to the military forces. Let me read that again. From unstable structures and monstrous threats to military forces closing in on Hawkins' lab. The characters must confront not only external enemies, but also personal reckonings, unresolved conflicts, and the weight of impossible choices that will determine the fate of their town and the world. The finale explores themes of sacrifice, acceptance, and the bittersweet transition from childhood to adulthood. As the story examines the true nature of Henry Creel's corruption and his connection to the Mind Flayer, it challenges the characters to make peace with their past traumas and decide what they'll be willing to give up to protect those they love. The episode grapples with questions of identity, the power of belief and hope, and whether some battles require letting go of the people and things we hold most dear. Through its resolution of the upside down conflict and events later, the narrative asks whether moving forward means accepting certain things and choosing certain things for certain reasons. And I'm just going to leave it at that so as not to get too spoilery. All right. So, listen, folks, there's going to be a lot of names in this review.
Indeed.
I'm going to know like two of them, maybe. All right.
Uh-huh. On
So,
at best. No, I'm just messing.
yeah, I just need you to lock in and make peace with that. If you
Mhm.
have not watched, well, actually, you know what? Before we get into any kind of spoilers,
Okay.
let's give
Okay.
our, we've given a synopsis. What do you think, Josiah? What did you think of the finale to Stranger Things?
Bro, I just made it back. I need a half second. I know
All
you're
right.
tossing it to me, but please go ahead. Give me a half second to process.
All right.
Give us your
So,
speed run. Give us your speed run of this.
hang on. Let me. So, episode 8, The Right Side Up, is like 2 hours long. And I was surprised at the length. given that we had like basically a full season and to end it with like basically a movie within a season. I thought that was an interesting choice.
Mhm, mhm.
Overall, okay, here's the problem. So naturally, I wasn't even looking for this, but I found, like stuff in my social media feeds and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everyone's so mad about this ending and yada yada
Mm,
yada. They
mm,
want some
mm.
kind of like some mythical Snyder cut equivalent to what they think exists,
Okay.
even though cast members and the direct the
Brothers.
Smothers brothers, the Druthers brothers, what-
Buffer, no, Duffer Brothers.
Duffer brothers, the Duffy boys, Duffy Block,
Yeah.
Duffy
Duff
Block Block.
Man. Can't breathe.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my gosh. What was the other one? What was the what was like Duffman having strange new feelings? Uh something about Jesus. It was I forget what he said. It's super funny, yo.
Oh, nice.
Uh
Yeah.
oh no. Duffman having strange new feelings. What would Jesus do? And he chucks the person, throws him over the stadium or something like that. Duffman is one of the most unsung characters of the Simpsons cinematic universe. All
Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
But divergence aside, overall, I'm fine with the ending. Um, I'm fine with it. Was it the most emotionally satisfying ending? For some characters. For other characters, it's just largely left up in the air. You know, there's insinuation that some people are gonna end up together forever. There's some indication that oh, something might get resparked at the end. Maybe, maybe not. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, there's some speculation. That's pretty much it. Um, there's no point in making a sequel series to this. It would just be a retread of this series. They covered all the bases. Here's the thing. This entire series is an homage to, a send up to, a wet sloppy kiss to specific movies in the 80s,
Yeah.
mostly. Maybe the 90s if you include the television miniseries Stephen King's It with Tim Curry. Amazing, by the way.
Hmm.
If you include that, then the very early 90s, but for the most part, the 80s. Those movies include, most specifically, The Goonies, Stand By Me, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, to some degree, a little bit. Um, Not with the breaking the fourth wall, speaking to the audience, but
Mhm.
Wild and
Mhm.
Crazy Adventures.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe a little bit of Home Alone. Was that 1991?
That was the 90s. Yeah.
Okay, so again, if you're really stretching it, maybe one or two movies from like the very very early 90s, but mostly from the 80s. And the ones I just the ones I just rattled off. Those are the
In
ones.
particular. Yeah.
No, I didn't see all of 8 Millimeter, which was Jeffrey Abrams' movie. That was also a send up to like movies of the 80s. Oh yeah, I mean, and I forgot to mention the stuff like E.T. is a big one. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is another one.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Not really Star Wars, not so much. Uh, I mean, they mentioned Star Wars obviously because those movies were out during the 80s.
It did, yeah.
But I mean, just mentioning there's a lot of pop culture references that are mentioned throughout the series. A lot of cereals that they ate that I remember eating as a kid.
Mhm. Mhm.
Certain commercials, things of that nature. So if you grew up in the 80s, if you were born in the 80s, then there's a lot of this series that's going to be very nostalgic for you and that you're going to kind of enjoy at a heart level, gut level. Oh, yeah, this was my childhood level. So, in terms of the show existing as an homage to those things that I've mentioned, uh, overall, it's quite successful. in that. And I'm
Mhm,
not just talking about
mhm.
the final episode, but the series overall as a whole in the aggregate. This is like a meta commentary on Stranger Things as a series with 5 seasons.
Mhm.
Um, oh yeah, Aliens would be in that as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. Oh,
yeah, for
yes.
sure.
But technically, that's yeah, that's a more adult series. That sad as these kids aged up,
True,
like it allowed themselves to lean a little bit more in that direction. Yeah.
right. But in fairness, there's things even in season one that are way more adult than what you'd see in the Goonies or in
Yeah.
Stand By Me.
Hmm.
So uh, it's made for people that grew up during that time and respects the fact that those people are now adults and adult things. In or as South Park would say, the member berries. Remember Indiana Jones and he's got the whip and the
Hmm.
hat. Remember
Hmm.
Star Wars. Remember. This all of this show is just a gigantic member berry, right? And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun ride. I don't. I mean, I don't know. So yeah, so the right side up. This final episode overall, like it kind of closes the chapter out. Um, I think some people are frustrated that certain characters that were not necessarily major characters in previous seasons became very prominent, mostly the little kids. I think people are annoyed by that. I think certain romances didn't materialize the way people wanted to.
Okay. Don't hit
People
it
want
much
that
more.
picture.
Much more. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
yeah. And
influenced
I'm
from
not mentioning
my.
any
Yeah. Oh,
saying
your
there's
audio
people
cut
that,
out for a second. Okay.
certain
I think you're back now.
character arcs didn't end the way they wanted it to. All right. I mean, I guess that's fair. We all, we had years to develop our own head canon because there was such a gap between the fourth season and the fifth season.
Hmm.
These kids are grown adults. These kids are completely tax-paying, W-2 filing adults at this point. Um, so, eh. Oh yeah, Ghostbusters. Yeah, there's a bunch of movies. Like the more I'm thinking about, it, it's like Ghostbusters, Pee Wee's Big Adventure,
Hmm.
like all kinds of stuff. Um,
Hmm.
So kudos to the Duffer Brothers for incorporating all of these influences, wearing their influences on their sleeve without apology, without shame. I'm thumbs up to all of that.
Hmm. Hmm.
This last episode was cool. Um, I wasn't personally invested in any particular ending.
Hmm.
So whatever, kind of like whatever happened, happened. And I just didn't feel the need to be hypercritical about it. The fact that the little girl, in the fifth season, her story arc was a prominent story arc. Some people that annoyed some people. Okay, if you didn't think it was good writing or whatever, okay. I didn't feel that strongly about it one way or the other. This story had to follow somebody's character lines. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I was fine with it. Overall, yeah, it was a cool ending. I probably wouldn't have done it the same way, but I'm a sucker for like giving the audience what they want, even if it's like
Hmm.
easy and kitschy
Hmm.
and campy and a tried and true path. I'm still kind of a sucker for doing that, maybe to my detriment. But if I were directing it, uh, if I were Duffer Brother the Third, Return of the Duffer Brother, um, that's a Star Wars reference, you guys. Return of the Jedi, Return of the Duffer Brother.
Oh no, he
Now that
explained
I've
it.
now that I've explained the joke, thereby making it funnier. If it was my project, if it was
True.
my baby, I would have taken it in certain directions. All right. I accept that they're not me and I'm not them, and they still gave an overall like satisfying ending. Again, I'm not big on like I'm not a Ryan Johnson fan. I'm not here to subvert all your expectations. I'm here to primarily tell a good story if I'm directing something. And I feel like overall, the Duffer Brothers succeeded in doing that. I might quibble on certain details, and certain emphasis on certain characters, but I was fine with it. It didn't blow my mind like, oh, this is the most amazing ending. It does kind of get you in the feels because you spent so much time with these characters. So even if it is like a stereotypical ending, it still kind of gets you in the feels, and that's fine. So yeah, overall, I was fine with it. That's pretty much my long and short of it without going into spoilers. How about you?
Mm. Well, first we got Merrick showed up back again. Hey, how's it going, Merrick? Thank you for dropping on by, supporting us. Yeah, looking forward to talking to you about this movie, along with
Merrick Wolf
our audience.
Campbell. Merrick, what's good?
What's
Thanks for joining us.
good? What's good?
We appreciate your viewership. Thank you. Good to see you. All right.
All right.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead.
Okay, here we go. I'll get my speed run of Stranger Things season 5, chapter 8, series finale as well. What up, Genobi? Welcome on in. All right.
Kenobi. Kenobi.
The end of the series. We are
Kenobi.
finally here. Finally at the end of this series. It's done. Unless there's super secrets to come. People are theorizing about some things out there. We're going to take this as it is and believe that this is the very ending that we're given. It feels a lot like this is the very ending of the story that we're given. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of what you expect is going to happen. And in almost every way. That might be the biggest frustration of this episode, of this series. There's Was there another path that it could have taken? You know, when you think back to ET and various other movies that it references, they more or less end in a way that you expect. What I mean, it's not the most exciting thing that's ever happened. It's not the most thrilling thing, and a lot of the moments, it was a little bit too slow. It seemed to linger in places that it was going to be, but I mean, when it really comes down to it, the entire series is a metaphor for growing up, going from becoming a kid to an adult, building relationships, losing relationships. This is kind of what you wind up getting. I wish they would have taken some bigger chances, some bigger swings. Uh, Maybe taken a chance to make it something that was not done before, but they stayed relatively tried and true to the things that they're referencing, the things that they were experiencing in the 80s when they were kids. The kids at the core of the experience doesn't always 100% feel that way in this season for the main crew. Like said before, there's a new generation that comes up on the scene that we get time with in this series, so that by the ending, when we see a passing of the torch, I know we feel it, and we believe it, we understand what's going on. Yeah, it's relatively middle of the road. It doesn't take any chances one way or the other. It plays it actually extremely safe in a number of ways. So this is just kind of it. I don't think it was an entire stinker. It wasn't anything near as rushed as the ending of Game of Thrones and all the various different things that happened there. Um, yeah, it's just kind of it. And so that might be a little bit disappointing for somebody, but honestly, if you made it this far into the series, just finish it. Just end it out. Unless you are happy to, as in D&D, craft your own ending to the story and leave it in your own mind. Take the story into the future, make it your own. Maybe you do. Maybe you just don't watch the very end of it and allow it to be as you choose it to be. They kind of present that in a way within the story itself. So, yeah. Stranger Things season 5, chapter 8, end of the series. It
Yeah,
ended.
and to your point, like I would say, like like we all sometimes like wish that we were in the director's chair and we were making certain decisions. Like if only like if only I can make this change or that change, or if If only I could, I'd make a deal with God. I get ready to swap our places. Be running up that road. Be running up
Running
that
up that
hill.
hill.
Be running up that building. Sorry. All right. Clap for me. Clap. You guys clap for me. You guys clap for me. Thank you. Thank you.
There we
Oh,
go.
you guys in the back. I see you. And you guys on the side. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Merrick. You're good. Yeah, welcome on back. If you gotta leave, don't worry. You're here to stay. It's all good, man. Don't worry. Thanks for
Good
your
to see you,
support.
Merrick. What's good? Hey, quick question, Merrick. Were you running up that road? Were you running up that hill? Were you running up that building? All right. All right.
Austin,
Go
we
go
had
go
the
ahead. And
same
let us
song in 2 seasons. How did we get the song over again? No.
if only you could, you make a deal with God. All right. Go ahead and let us know in the comments. Go
I
ahead and let
love
us
how
know in the
Lucas
chat.
was like, "Yeah, I'm over it."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not over it though, to
Uh
be honest. Yeah, I still had fun with the song. But yeah, Merrick, feel free to answer that however you want. Anyone else can answer that however you want to.
oh
Yeah,
my
you know
gosh.
what? Look, so I mean, look, this is a unique situation that we're in, reviewing the end of an entire series. It's Let's be honest, guys. This is not a movie. This is just the ending of a series. Okay, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. It's got some big enough
What's good,
things that
Travis?
it's yeah. Hey, what up, man? What up?
Travis, what's good?
What up? Yeah. In the most technical ways, like where it's like it's almost self-contained in some level. It's not that. It's fine. We already know that. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't. Seeing it on the big screen, I'm sure, was a lot of fun. I did not see it on the big screen. I just kept it the way that it was. It was intended to be
Yeah,
on the small screen. But I could see a few things being cool.
that's fine. Yeah. Big screen would
Mer-
have been totally fine.
Merrick
And
Wolf says Spring Trap.
nice. Oh my goodness. All right, so all right, from this point on, we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you have
Spoiler.
not watched
Mm-hmm.
season 5, episode 8, The Right Side Up, go ahead and pause this, open up another tab for your Netflix, go ahead and watch it, come back and join us. Let us know what you think in the comment section.
Yeah.
Unless we're still going. I don't know how long this is gonna last. So, but all right, from this point on, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. From now on, thumbs up for spoiler alert. Right. Okay. Do we want to talk about likes or dislikes first, Josiah? What do you think?
Let's do the likes before we yeah get into it. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Let's just go about it that way. That's fine.
All right. I like seeing Linda Hamilton in a different kind of role. That was cool.
Yeah, I
Other
get
than
what, I
Sarah
get what you
Connor,
in a more villainous role. Yeah, that's fair. The funny thing about that is, my wife and I we just finished maybe a couple months back going through all of Resident Alien, and she plays a very similar character in that series. Um,
okay.
so
I haven't seen
it was
that.
different. It
Yeah.
was different for you. Well, not exactly different for me, but yeah, look, she's I mean she's a send up exactly to that era, to that time period, Terminator, all that, like
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the
hmm
Terminator, the original Terminator movie. There's
yeah,
definitely some of that.
yeah, hmm
Yeah.
a
So
bit, Vecna does chase some kids here and there, kids are running from things a little bit. Oh, even you were talking about 90s references, like there's a little bit of like Jurassic Park up in here too, but anyways.
but maybe only maybe briefly
Yeah, very, very
because
briefly.
like the series ends at 1989. They make sure to like end it right at the tail end of the 80s.
I'm
So
specifically talking about the famous Raptors kitchen scene with the demo dogs
oh
at the
yeah,
hospital.
yeah,
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 yeah.
definitely. That was a
hmm
huge send up. Okay, so like in a sense, it's a send up to Steven Spielberg, though that movie was made in 1990 or it was released in 1993.
Mhm.
Steven Spielberg, and for that matter, George Lucas,
Mhm.
and Robert Zemeckis, but really Steven Spielberg, he was kind of the king of the 80s when it came to cinema. In
Mhm.
terms of like pop culture cinema, I mean, between Indiana Jones, between oh gosh, there's so many movies. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Anyways, back to it. Back to the things that you liked about this.
I like that the
Yeah.
characters still have like that chemistry with each other. You believe the relationships between between all the relevant characters.
Mhm.
Um, uh,
Yeah.
despite the difference in like despite like it was it a 5 year gap or something like that. Is that how long it was between the
It's the gap
seasons?
between seasons? Oh, it literally 5 years. What was the last one?
I don't
Was it
remember.
3? 3, 4? It could have been 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually. Something
I
like
don't
that.
know,
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah, I thought they all gelled cohesively together. I thought that was
Mhm.
good.
Mhm. Step back into the
Um,
characters pretty decently.
yeah, no matter how you feel about any particular plot point or plot twist, each episode keeps the story going. It never gets boring. So it never commits the cardinal sin of being boring. There are some parts that slow down. Um, I actually like some of the more sentimental, like
Nancy and
the two guys were
Jonathan
the
and
two that were fighting. The guy that the kid he didn't have teeth first couple seasons.
Dustin
Uh,
and Steve fighting.
Dustin. Yeah,
Mhm.
like so. If I could have written one of the scenes when they're like they go in and they're going into the lab and then like they fight and they end up breaking the radio that
Mhm.
scene.
Mhm. Mhm.
um Dustin and who's the other one?
Steve.
Steve. Steve. Now, if I were writing this, I think he's like, listen, Dustin, I wish he had said something along the lines of, listen, Dustin, you're not the only person hurting that he died. I tried to warn you guys not to do that. He didn't listen to me and he got himself killed. You think that doesn't weigh on me? You think I've ever felt worse about being right? You're not the only person hurting, you jerk. And like or whatever,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
I would have
Mhm.
loved it. I would have written it that way, like you're not the only person hurting.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I wasn't friends with him like you were, but like I sincerely didn't want him to die. You wish like how frustrated I am that he's not here because he didn't listen to me.
Mhm.
I would have taken that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that would have been completely valid, completely consistent with his character. That would have been super powerful. Now, I mean, they went in a direction like, he kind of said like, listen, he made bad decisions and he got himself killed. And he was absolutely correct in saying that. He
Mhm.
was, I mean,
Yeah.
he was.
But he does kind of step back from half of what he's saying. Like he's saying he didn't save anybody, but then by the end he says he did save us. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of. Yes, I mean, again, if it were me, I would have written it a little bit differently. But all that to say, okay, so the couple when they're in the melting room, to a lesser degree, like I wasn't so invested in that relationship to begin with. They
Sure.
were an odd pairing from the beginning. So fine, whatever.
Mhm.
They were together and then they decided to kind of end it. It has some emotional resonance. That's fine. But yeah, Steven Dustin, that was the one that really got me because he's like, there's a point where he gets a ladder and he tries like to bridge the gap between the melting stairs. And Steve pulls
Mhm.
like, no, I can't lose another person. I can't. That guy,
Mhm.
like, I really felt that. Like,
That
I can't.
was a good moment.
See, look at that, look at that, look at that. Would you look at the
He
Lord? Would
can't
you look at
contain his
God?
emotions. Yep.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Isn't he good?
Won't he
Yep.
do it? Um,
Oh man.
yeah, but like he gives him a hug. Like he's freaking out because he like you're gonna get yourself killed, and I can't lose another friend. They're
Yeah.
actually they're
Mhm.
not mad at each other. They're just hurting. Hurt people. Like as I get older and I realize that people are operating within the constraints of their fears and their insecurities, I think
Mhm.
that moment is captured well in that scene. Like neither one of them are really mad at each other.
Mhm.
Like they're hurting and they're stressed out and they're scared for their lives. And you often take out your frustrations on the people that you care about the most. Um, the people that you are most the people that you're most in love with, the people that you're most drawn to, the people that you have
Mm.
close familial ties to, those people oftentimes get the worst of you,
And yeah.
not the best
Hmm.
of you. They should get the best of you.
Hmm.
Um, but man, being
Hopefully they do too. But yeah.
yeah, but like a person getting the best of you entails a level of vulnerability, exposure, risk
Hmm.
of being hurt. And
Hmm.
as I live and as I see things play out in my own life, I'm just watching this scene. I'm like, yeah, I get that. These guys are hurting. He's not really mad at him. He's mourning the loss of his friend, and he's scared to death of the loss of his other friend. They're
Hmm.
actually friends. They just like they're struggling, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. In that first scene, he Dustin's talking about losing his best friend, and Steve winds up jumping to thinking that he's talking about Eddie, when Dustin's clearly talking about Steve right there. But Steve has such a frustrating response that Dustin doesn't want to make that clarification in that moment.
Hurt people hurt people.
Hmm.
People are not that complicated. Men, women aren't that complicated. They're really not. They're emotional, but they're not that complicated. Women, men aren't that complicated, you know. Um, we operate under a base set of rules that we make for ourselves or that society makes for us, but we're all operating under some base wants, needs, desires, some core wounds, some core fears and insecurities. We're all dealing with it the best that we can, and some of us deal with it better, some of us deal with it worse. And I think you see that on balance to some degree throughout the whole cast of the main characters. You know, everybody's dealing with a certain fear. Hopper, is it Hopper?
Yeah.
L's surrogate. He's dealing
Hmm.
with the loss of his. He's dealing with the loss of his biological daughter.
Hmm.
That stuff doesn't go away.
Hmm.
Pain like that, like it never actually leaves you. And he's imposing the fear of loss and the reality of loss on the L, who's feeling suffocated by that, even though she knows why he's like that and what's eating him up inside. And she loves him because he has taken her on as a daughter and protected and provided. Man, there's a lot going on. And I really respect that, they did a pretty good job of like hashing through some of those dynamics. Did they do a perfect job? No, I guess not. But like on the whole, there's real progression. There's, starting from season one all the way to the right side up, there's some legitimate, sincere efforts to develop these characters and, and give them a sense of like groundedness and realism. Not perfectly, but like as good as any other series, certainly Netflix series I've ever seen. So yeah, I really want to give him credit for that. I don't know. What do you think?
So as far as what I like about this series, about this season in particular,
Or just like the point about like the characters and stuff.
all right, Merrick. No, we like you too, man. If you gotta go, hey, don't worry. Thanks for joining
God
us.
bless you, bro.
And yeah, this will
God
this
bless
will be
you.
this will be up later if you want to watch it later. If not, we'll just see you next time. Yeah, God bless you.
Next time, buddy.
Peace out. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I think I will overall agree. It's covering. I'm just like as we're talking, and even as I've been watching the series over the last couple weeks or so, just thinking about like what this season, what this season's what means, what its main theming is, and the I guess the final chapter element of it, the final adventure is a large part of it, and it's almost kind of like what it's the entire thing is. It's like Vecna's trying to close things off. Everyone knows. Yeah, yeah. If you gotta go, it's all right, man. Good seeing you.
God bless you, bro. We'll catch you next one. Have a
Exactly.
wonderful evening. Get some rest. Good to see you.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're getting close. I mean, well, there's a time skip, but yeah, they're getting close to graduating. They're they're yeah, dealing with loss in the past. They're struggling with Max, current frustrations and the way things aren't shouldn't be and don't want to be and the way they want them to be. They're facing the ending of it all, and they're up against a wall. They don't know, like, they have a plan, but it's hardly a plan. They don't know how they're going to overcome. They don't even fully understand what they're going up against still. But yeah, I think overall, they're like the entire season is covering the closure in various different forms, and if questionings of if things are going to move forward, how things are going to move forward. Yeah, so big unknowns about the ending of a chapter of life, and whether there's going to be another chapter of life or not. And yeah, mostly does wind up working. I still do like you're saying, the relationships between characters. I think everyone pretty much steps into their character. I honestly didn't have very strong desires for like what I wanted to specifically happen out of this. Because in a lot of ways, man, honestly, after like a couple seasons, it could have ended for me. Like they could have wrapped. Like they didn't need to exactly bring it this far, and probably have been fine with it. Probably would have, yeah. Like, I don't know. Part of me just didn't need. I don't want to get into the negatives, so let me just continue with the positives. Yeah, effects wind up being cool, but yeah, relationships, the acting overall is pretty solid. I think directing winds up being good. They do some creative choices within cinematography. This is a lot of footage to pack into a series to try and keep audiences' attention overall. And I think more than not, it winds up being successful in that, and it's got to be challenging. It's got to be difficult juggling. What is this? At least like 9 or 10 hours, for the entire season. That's a
Yeah,
long
something like that.
time
Probably a little
to.
more than 9 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So they have to plan out plot points and developments to bring us through all of that time, across the season. I don't think they're just wholly resting on their laurels and resting on the relationships. And in fact, like you brought up about the new generation of kids with, Holly Wheeler and everybody else, like they're taking some chances in that regard. So, hmm, well, it may not have been the exact package that I would have wanted. I think it makes sense, within the series, within the context of all the things that it's referencing, and just keep the quality. I think, yeah, the effects most of the time look pretty good, and I think they chose where to put their money, where to let effects be practical or just like lower resolution. Some of the melting buildings and stuff like that, mm, not fantastically amazing, but I still felt the tension while we were in those scenes and in those sequences. Um, yeah, and I think actually, I mean, to have a cast of kids in the first season, to then have to kind of more or less be locked into those kids throughout all these seasons and hope that they grow as actors. I think it worked out more times than not that their acting chops improved and got better, and you know still was able to enjoy their performances. Man, yeah, I think the effects are. I don't want to go in circles, but I can't say that there was any like one big thing that like absolutely blew me away. I'm glad that it answered more things than not. Uh, but I'll cover some of my hesitations within that in our next section. Um, yeah, yeah, happy to go on the journey, and I'm actually totally fine that it's over. To be honest, totally fine with it.
Yeah, I feel like they more or less stuck the landing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fine with that. Like, what I think happens is people either they have their own headcanon of how things should have happened
Mhm.
exactly,
Mhm.
or they just have a lingering sense that it should have happened differently. And they can't necessarily tell you how it should have happened, what that difference should be. They just
Mhm.
kind of like what they got, they weren't entirely satisfied with, which is fair. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it. But I just think that part of it is a function of time because we waited so long to get to this final point.
Mm.
And so the expectations are just naturally very, very high. And the chances that any person, the best person, Spielberg at his prime is going to meet those expectations, man, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how
So,
much that I've never looked into how much the Duffer Brothers had all of this planned out because as I brought up as a comparison, the Harry Potter series, famous that Rowling had the framework for the entire series figured out going into the first book. And I mean, it really shows within that. I think the same thing is going to hopefully be true with Martin, is he gives us the last two books. Hopefully not posthumously, but yeah, I think we'll see that there's. Yeah, I think Rowling's more of what's described as like an engineer or architect. So she winds up like planning all the stuff out. I, we're still trying to read a bunch of different books, different things. Um, yeah, I don't know that the brothers had the very thing planned. I could see that maybe a few things potentially were, but yeah, as far as it all goes, I don't know if they just had like we want to do one cool season of something, and then see where the story goes in between seasons and just kind of increment it out. Um, but I understand the feeling that this is like not the most exciting ending. This isn't Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. That was the last one, right? Yeah. This isn't a near perfect thing. This isn't the ending that you get in Lord of the Rings, which was always written to be one entire story and just happened to be published in three parts. Um, yeah, but for potentially just doing one season at a time and having like a loose framework of where it's going to go, okay. But so I understand the sadness of it not being greater than it could be, and then the people that are also pleased with where it went.
but then
I'm
to me,
down
the
the middle.
question
I
becomes,
feel real
well,
down the middle.
yeah, well, the question, well, what would the greater thing have been? I don't know.
But have
It's
you
kind of hard
set
to
out to
say.
actually think of that? Like I've never been like so enamored by the story that I was like wanting to forge the path ahead. I've been more okay with just like going along for the ride. But yeah, that's just me personal. Yeah. How about you, man?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. Did the Duffer
Yeah.
brothers plan out all of Stranger Things from from the beginning? Oops, beginning. All right, let's find out. The short answer, yes and no. The Duffer Brothers did have a broad, long-term plan for Stranger Things from the very beginning, but they did not lock in every detail of every season. It was more of a mythology, end-game vision with flexibility to adapt based on characters, actors, and audience response. All right, so
Mhm.
they had a rough outline. They kind of had ideas of themes and mythos that they wanted to explore, but they didn't have all the details locked in. Okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's a couple scenes. Like I said, I like the scene with Steve and Dennis. I actually like the scene towards the very end, um, where Winona Ryder's character, she has that axe. She's like, "Man, you effed with the wrong family." And then they show the flashbacks, like all the things that happened to her son and everything, and she's just,
Mhm.
hacking
Mhm.
Vecna's head off. I found that very cathartically satisfying because, like, she's always kind of been the weakling at the mercy of other things, people coming to save her. So for her to take destiny in her own hands, symbolically, you F
Mhm.
with the wrong thing. She was finally able to do something other than like Will, are you okay? Are you okay? I love you, baby. Like she was able to she was the one. I feel like that was super earned. Like totally I feel like that was she was maybe the most deserving person because like her character had gone through like some of the most turmoil as any of the characters.
Mhm.
Like watching all this stuff happen to her son. And the person or the being, the creature responsible for all of that finally gets its comeuppance, finally gets its just desserts, so to speak. And she's the one that dealt the final blow. I think that's fitting. I think that's eminently fitting. So I like that. Um, let's see. I liked Elle and what's his name? The boyfriend, the main guy,
Oh, Mike.
big tall, huh?
Mike.
Mike? Yeah. When they're in like the black space.
They share
And she's
some
like,
time in her mind. Yeah.
yeah, and they have I mean, everyone's been waiting for them to make out, you know what I mean? Like it was bound to happen at some point.
Mhm.
But it wasn't just like make out for, titillation or it wasn't it was like it was a grounded like
Mhm.
I'm saying farewell. I love you. You kiss the one that you love.
Mhm.
Totally earned, moment, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Cuz like they weren't doing that all throughout the season, like they saved it for that scene. So like, I thought, okay,
Mhm.
there's maximum impact in that moment for that scene. I thought that was good. Um Listen, the ending, the ambiguous ending as to whether or not Elle met her demise or if it was all a cleverly planned ruse. The thing that okay, this isn't enough to count it as an actual dislike, but there when she walked up, there were only two waterfalls. There were supposed to be, they were talking about a place with three waterfalls. There was only two waterfalls when she walked up. I'm like, I was looking like one. Wait a minute, there's only two waterfalls. Eh, that kind of like uh, now, the romantic in me wanted to see a scene of him like backpacking and finally like running into her, meeting her there, and then it cuts to black. Or they go and they give each other a big hug and they make out on the mountaintop, and the big swirling camera, the drone camera does a big panoramic.
Mhm.
That's hyper obvious and mushy. And if I was doing it, I probably would have gone in that direction. Just full disclosure. I probably would have done that. Because like on a certain level, again, I'm totally happy to find a convincing, engaging, clever, thoughtful way to give the people what they freaking want. You dig? I'm not
Mhm.
against that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
not trying to teach them a lesson of subvert their expected. Bro, go fly a kite. Like I want to give you something that you walk out like, oh, that was dope. I like that. Oh, that made me feel good.
Mhm.
Call me a mushy old man, but like that's where I'm at. You
Got
dig?
it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, but like just the way that Mike he was kind of explaining like who what happened to all the characters. There was some good writing in that. There's something clever about that. I appreciated that, even if it isn't the ending that everybody wanted. Right? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. All
man.
right.
So I
So
saw
I
there's
did. I
gonna be
did think about another scene that I wind up liking.
okay. Go ahead.
When the abyss is actually like crashing down on top of the radio tower. I did like the tension of that moment, like how Henry got to Hopper caused him to make a big mistake. I mean, he thought he had killed Elle. Thankfully, he hadn't, but he did wind up breaking the tank, weakening her, and yeah, messing up with the timing. Obviously, Max was also trying to get them to wait longer so that their opportunity to actually go directly into his mind palace, mind home, was right. Yeah, there's some moments of tension in here that I think were done very well.
Yeah. Um.
All right. How about
All
this?
right. So
We
what's
maybe
up?
can get into some negatives, but I actually am a little bit curious in a moment to ask what you think about some of the where some of the characters ended or how they were treated within this season. So,
Okay. First of all,
any
before
okay,
we get into that, MCK 142 says I believe in conformity gate. First of all, welcome to the live stream. We appreciate
welcome
having you
in.
here. If you could do us a huge favor, I don't know what you mean by conformity gate. If you could expand and elaborate on that so I can give you a good answer, or at least try to, I'd really appreciate it. If you're still online, we'd love to hear from you. What exactly is hashtag conformity gate?
Oh no, he's talking about the ending. So I sorry, MCK. I saw that earlier and I was not sure, but I do remember now. It's their "I believe" moment at the very end.
Okay, and
And
it's
then we
called
have someone
conformity
else.
gate.
Earl is asking, "Do you think
Well,
we get the ninth episode, even though it's 99.9% chance we don't get it?" I briefly was hearing about this theory that like it's January 7th we get another episode. Um, yeah,
I don't know
I
what's going to
I
be in
don't
that
think
episode
so.
though. Like what? I feel
I
like they
don't.
kind of covered what they wanted to cover. I don't know what's going to be in that episode if they do have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I tend to not think that that's going to happen just because I don't think they wanted it to be 100% spelled out. I mean, to be honest, I personally do think that Mike is making up a story. You know, I was laughing with my wife a little bit, and saying that I don't believe. Everyone said I believe. I don't believe, but that's the adult pessimist in me a little bit. All right,
Okay,
so then
so
he's saying
Earl responds.
a viral fan theory
Yeah.
for Stranger Things, suggesting the seemingly happy season 5 finale is a deceptive illusion or fake out by Vecna, hiding a true, darker ending and a secret ninth episode. That's what conformity gate means.
Ah.
Yeah, I did have a moment. Where was it? Where was it? There was a moment in that kind of like ending segment that made me think, what's the possibility of this being inside someone's head, or someone was doing it. Vecna is doing it. I forgot the moment that wanted to happening. I like that people have that theory, and man, yeah. Depending on how they would play that out, I could see it potentially earning a whole ninth episode. Yeah. I wonder.
Yeah, if that ninth episode
Hmm.
got really dark and yeah, and it kind of like goes contrary to the whole series up to this point, almost as like a standalone alternate reality kind of thing. I could get behind that.
Hmm.
I could,
Yeah. I guess I would kind of want it to happen if there's like a greater reason for why the two worlds should be merged into one, and like what they would say about that in particular. um but yeah, um this very much feels like the Steven Spielberg esque kind of ending to the season, and why there wouldn't be another episode. And if they did another episode, then yeah, it kind of feels like they're pushing into something more mature. So yeah, that'd be
yeah, it might stop
fascinating.
being Stranger Things as we know it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Earl Schubel said, uh, "I would say the graduation. Look at how everyone is sitting in their chairs. If there's something there, I didn't catch it. I don't know. So I mean, if there's something that there's a fan theory, could be. I personally didn't notice anything peculiar about the way they were seated. So if there's something there, I just didn't catch it. So I'd be
Mm-hmm.
curious if something was there. Um, I just didn't see it myself, or there's nothing that was apparent to me or that I noticed that seemed different or odd or noteworthy. There may very well be something like that. It if it's there, I didn't catch it. So
Yeah, I'm
I'd be curious
curious.
to know if
Are
there's something.
what point in time in the either last episode or before the last episode are people theorizing that the split winds up happening, where it turns from reality to Vecna's illusion upon everybody.
Or maybe it's Callie's illusion.
Oh man, yeah, they were
Like
seeding that as a possibility.
maybe the
Hmm.
illusion that she didn't actually get shot. Maybe like the guy missed, and maybe that was her way of escaping or something. Again, if it's done well, I'm totally down for interesting little side theories or fan theories if it's executed well. If it
Mhm,
actually exists, if it's actually real, and it is executed well, I'm totally down for it. At the end of the day, I want a good story. No
mhm,
matter how it comes,
mhm,
if it's good, if it's interesting, if it's engaging, if it's entertaining, I'm with it.
mhm,
Uh, so, I mean, if it's good, I'm totally happy to see more of the Stranger Things cinematic universe, if that makes sense.
mhm, mhm.
The
Yeah.
TS uh, CU, Stranger Things cinematic universe, brought to you by Netflix.
Don't think the episode is happening. Think it's just a coping mechanism.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chances
Yeah.
are you're probably right about that.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
see when January 7th rolls around. We'll find out for sure. Um, but
Mhm,
I'm 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 tending to agree with you on that, just because I've seen so many articles or mentions of people wanting some kind of mythical Snyder cut of this
mhm,
episode,
mhm.
and I believe both the Duffer Brothers and various cast members have said, yeah, that it doesn't exist. It's not
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Pause.
which they should say if they're trying to keep a secret. But mhm, mhm. Hey, look, would be super dope. Would be super dope if it happens. The question also would be like, yeah, again, it'd be a second ending, second chance at an ending. Do they end it in a more positive way, like the ending of this, or no?
It's
Um,
more or less pretty positive to begin with.
well,
The
no, if the
older teenagers
theory,
are
yeah,
kind of
we can explore the
they're
theory a
living
little
their
bit more.
lives. They're early in their careers. The younger kids are finishing high school, and the little kids are kind of playing Dungeons and Dragons, getting into it. It's kind of is more or less pretty happily ever after to begin with.
Hmm.
Just minus Elle and Mike, you know. Uh, but he gives this theory that may or may not be true, and
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
okay with it either.
Casey is saying, "Welcome on in." By the way, there's an article called "Netflix Responds to Stranger Things Conformity Gate with New Announcement."
All
Okay.
right,
Yeah, would have
let's
to. Hey, if you want to check it out, go look for it.
yeah. Let me pull
Um,
this up real quick.
yeah, I mean, it feels like in the wider scope of the entire series. Um, yeah, I mean, we have like the level of the kids are going on like a D&D adventure with each other, and within D&D adventures, it's all about the party. It's all about the adventure itself. Like there are threats and there's something to overcome, but the entire fun of the game is playing with your friends and spending time with your friends. So on that level, I feel like they wouldn't just have the bad guys win. And they even kind of like they tease that in some way with Mike at the end there, where bad guys win, and then he has his version of 11 come and save the day. She winds up taking the loss, having the one to be the one to sacrifice for her
Okay,
loved ones.
so I'm reading this from the direct. This is the website. Netflix responds to Stranger Things Conformity Gate with new announcement. Netflix seemingly debunked the wild fan theory about the Conformity Gate with a new Stranger Things related announcement. Netflix responded to diehard fans of Stranger Things convinced by the Conformity Gate that another episode would premiere by announcing a new making of documentary for the final season, which will be released relatively soon. The final episode hit the Netflix original series made uh, blah 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 decades long run resolving key blah 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 blah. It's still raising several unanswered questions, such as whether or not 11 is alive or dead after her sacrifice within the Upside Down. Okay, where's the actual announcement? Like, uh, all right, Netflix announced a Stranger Things documentary titled One Last Adventure: The Making of Stranger Things 5, which offers an inside look at the development of the final installment of the series. Created by the Duffer Brothers, the documentary will be released on Monday, January 12th. Netflix new announcement can be seen as a response to the trending conformity gate theories online, debunking claims that a ninth episode of the series will premiere sometime this week. This is a wild this wild theory is sparked by fans' disappointment and the unusual tone of the epilogue, where everything just seemed a bit off. Still, there are some fans who largely believe that Eleven is still alive, and for them, this is enough of a closure rather than being disappointed with Netflix not releasing a secret episode. All right, the Duffer Brothers shared an official statement. Okay, so there's just a bunch of stuff. Uh,
Casey says you can also see it on the Netflix app with all the OG behind the scenes stuff.
yeah. All right, so let's just assume that for now that the final episode is indeed the final episode, and that they will have a making of behind, BTS making of documentary as a supplemental to the series itself, and that's fine.
Look, man,
Enjoy the
look, yeah, if
supplemental.
they did their own, I don't know, like Bandersnatch esque, homage to a choose your own adventure ending where they put forward a more positive ending and more negative ending, and they kind of let it be like that. Fascinating. Welcome in,
Remind me
Travis.
what Bandersnatch is again?
That was Black Mirror. That was a Black Mirror interactive episode on Netflix,
Oh,
where it
okay,
was like
got
branching stories.
got
Travis,
it.
yeah, welcome in. The only time I can
Now,
think of
Travis.
where there was a false finale was Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where they aired the finale, which ended rather depressingly, only to release an episode in the very next week.
All right,
It's a
so
it's a it's
Aqua
a cool
Teen
thing to
Hunger
do.
Force.
It is a fun thing to do for sure.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, for those of you who don't know, was an Adult Swim series. It's very quirky. It came on between either before or after Tim and Eric's awesome show, Great Job. It is like off kilter, kind of like bizarro world humor. Right up my alley, by the way. My
Mhm,
name
mhm.
is Sheikh Zula, the Mike Rula, the old schooler. You want a tip? I bring it to 5 lock, come on top, rock it like a cop, meet my working out with your knock knock. Meek Mock, get the honeys, G. Meek Mock, get the honey. Johnson in my cars. That's a Taurus. Cause we are the Aqua team. Make the honey say ho, make the girls want to scream. Listen, I'm rocking with Aqua the Hunger Force. You ain't gotta tell me about it. Um,
he knows.
but
He
I don't
knows. Yeah.
expect necessarily Stranger Things to go in like that kind of oddball, just messing with the audience direction that Awkward Teen Hunger Force is going to go in. That's a whole other, you know.
Mm,
I want
mm.
candy, bubblegum with taffy. Like, listen, MCP pants. Like, let's go, let's go. You ain't even got to tell me. To build a drill into hell, get the sleepers. Man, bro, whatever, bro. It's a big giant spider. Yeah, bro. Don't get me started on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Shoot 'em
Um,
by Netflix. I see UKC.
okay.
Dude, bro. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, it would be exciting. It would be very exciting if they did that. We will keep our eyes
It
open.
would be very meta.
The 12th is a little bit far out, and people are like, oh, maybe that episode's going to drop halfway through. I could see that being what people are feeling at the moment. Um, that 12th might just give people like a couple weeks to watch this last episode, but it could be something else.
Yeah. So Travis Mitchell, to answer your question, I don't think that the Duffer Brothers or Stranger Things is going to go in that kind of a meta direction. If they do, hey, cool. But like, I don't see it. Uh, they're not quirky like that. So
Mm,
it would be interesting, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that.
hmm he's text back spoilers for the decade old fake finale. Everyone dies to save Meatwad, then he has a family and reflects on his friends before driving away from their home. Next episode, this sucks.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. I didn't actually see that one, but yeah. One of my favorite episodes is like the banana. It's like I was hooked on drugs. Then I found Jesus. Like it's ridiculous. It is bat crap. Like out of like it's space balls. It's all over the place. Um, the
Mhm.
Boost Mobile commercial with Shake. That's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, this has been another episode of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force fan podcast.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but back to Stranger Things, and thank you again, Travis. We appreciate you filling us in
Thanks,
on all
man.
that.
Yeah, love the interaction. So
Um,
I wonder if some of the stuff, so the feelings of wanting something else is partially coming from not only the like the weirdness, or I guess maybe the design of the, like you're saying, the graduation, but maybe it's like the mind flayer, like seemingly coming out of nowhere again, um, to wind up being like a big antagonist there. Oh, welcome in, Mikhail. Welcome in. Great show. They're going to close the door with these characters outside of some cameos. Stranger Things 2 will be the 90s with the new generation set up this season.
I heard
Mm,
something about that. I
mm,
don't know if the
mm.
Duffer Brothers are going to be directly involved with those. They might be like overseeing it or like kind of like, consulting on it. I don't know. There's a lot. I
Oh,
mean,
so they actually are
Stranger
going to
Things.
do a continuing series? That was that like
I
fully
don't
announced?
know. I don't know. Listen, Stranger Things has been very good for Netflix, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, when the last episode dropped, I hit play, like I refreshed my browser and hit play, and I
Hmm.
got all kinds of error messages. Like it took a couple times, and I was right there at the very beginning, right at 5 p.m. And the
Oh
servers
yeah.
were like
Oh yes.
bum
I was
rushed.
aware of this. He sent me a message right away. I was like,
Yep.
"Dang, that's cool. He's catching it right as it drops."
Yeah. So them servers, I mean, they were doing everything they could they were holding on for dear life because people wanted to see this ending. And so,
Hmm.
anyway, I wanted to see at the very beginning so I wouldn't get spoiled on stuff, a day or two later because people were saying stuff on social media. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see it so that I wouldn't have the opportunity to be spoiled.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. All right.
so,
All right. Let's try and catch up on a couple things real fast. Travis says a cool spinoff could be Enzo, the prison guard, being a witness protection in the U.S., still haunted by Russia for being a traitor, recruited by Dr. Owens. Him and Murray uncover solve conspiracies, or I think exploring post Cold War climate through the eyes of him, Enzo. Seeing the rest of the world outside Hawkins could be fun. Bringing Mr. Clark and Yuri and go crazy places.
mm,
And then yeah, Casey had something for a half second, but then it was taken away. But yeah, going back to Mikhail, yeah, I mean, they for sure at the end of this episode, passed the torch, and Mike went up and he closed the door, and I mean, he symbolically gave it over to their time period. Everyone put up their personal player books, and so did he. He put
oh,
up his
that's
guide
right. That's
book.
right.
And the
That
kids
was
are
good too. I like that too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The new crew's starting their own thing. They got their own approach to things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would be down to see it, as long as like they really just take the time to figure out like what is different about the 90s than the 80s, like what story needs to be told. Because that's with D&D, like that's the spirit of the D&D. Like you want every session, every campaign, I should say, to be like unique to that group and like true to that group, and it gets played out through that group. As long as they wind up having an exciting group, an interesting group, and just try and tell a story that's very different than what was present here. And if it is like paying homage to the 90s, then yeah, I think it could be cool. And then it could be also
Yeah.
cool just like spinning off to somebody else different, like with the Russian Cold War situation. The only thing I wonder about that is like if they did, maybe they'd have to keep it 80s, because like 90s, the Cold War is not as. But yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Here's my thought on that. First of all, KC Video Edits, thank you so much for all the background information you provided us. Thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Um, uh, yeah, and uh, yeah, Mikhail, thank you so much. We appreciate that you're with us, and we're glad you're enjoying the show. To answer your question, if the Stranger Things was going to go into the '90s, I think the direction they would have to go into, it would have to go into the realm of like home PCs, and it would have to be some real like Ghost in the Machine kind of thing. It would have to like note the shift of like computers in the home and even pre-internet, right?
Mm,
Or you
mm,
could like have, because there were people that were connecting to the very very early internet in the early 90s.
yeah.
Maybe only a few thousand people globally, so just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of people. but the government's doing something, they're up to no good. The military, the Pentagon, they've unleashed something, and it's digital and blah blah
Mhm,
blah.
mhm,
You
mhm.
know, having those really
Yeah.
old, big, clunky PCs from the '90s, it
Mhm.
would have to involve that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's what I think. And yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I
the
re
only direction it could
Yeah.
go.
I could see
It's,
something
it's
like that.
it is the slow creep from analog to digital.
Hmm.
It
That
happens
actually
all throughout
reminds me a little bit
the '90s.
that actually reminds me a little bit. I remember a while back once season 1 dropped and then we were going into season 2. I had heard, I don't know how much this was true, that the Duffer Brothers were potentially gonna treat this like anthology style, where season 2 was gonna have
Mhm.
nothing to do with season 1. And
Ah,
just like
yeah.
stay kind of like within a Stranger Things sort of like genre. Kale's
Yeah.
asking, that would be dope story, dawn of the internet type of thing. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
definitely.
what I envision if they're going to take this
Mm,
type of storytelling into the '90s, right?
hmm
It would be
hmm
very like it would like the last couple seasons would be like web 1.0 kind of stuff, you know, internet forums, things like that. That would be the extent of it because that was the extent of the web.
hmm
Napster
hmm
downloading things. You download the spirit of something. Like it would go
hmm
in that direction.
Oh,
Um,
fascinating. Yeah.
Downloading the nuclear codes and the monster and the na 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 na. The Matrix came
hmm
out, and like some of the best movies ever, some of the most groundbreaking, technology pushing, forward thinking, visionary films came out in the '90s. And so, that version of Stranger Things would do well to be a reflection and an homage to those things.
hmm mm mm. Yeah,
People running around with like, camcorders and things like that.
totally.
It would be stuff like that.
I'd be curious to see how they separate that theming from, because that's very much a theming of like connection and connection to other people, connection to information, blowing open doors of information. I'm wondering how they separate that from what we got within this series, where it's like the military, they discovered like, yeah, a deep connection to an entirely different plane, an entirely different dimension, and that through that connection, it its power seeped into our world through Henry and through everybody else. Like, I'd be curious to see how they differentiate the internet connection from that kind of thing that we have present within this.
Yeah, it's also the beginning of like cell phones, um,
Hmm.
TI, Texas Instruments, calculators, you know, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was that broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money green leather sofa. Got two cribs, a limousine with the chauffeur. It's like the rise of the golden age of hip hop. So one of the
Hmm.
kids, you know, probably the black kid, but maybe one of the white kids bumping hip hop, was bumping
Uh-huh.
Notorious,
Uh-huh.
Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. The whole East West Coast. You could throw so much at that season if you really
Mhm,
wanted to
mhm.
get greasy with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One
It
of our
could be super
kids
dope.
would be named Mathers Marshall.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Like, TRL, Total Request Live, TGIF, the Friday night programming block, Saturday morning cartoons. They barely touched that in Stranger Things. They didn't touch it that much.
Mm, mm.
There's a lot there. Like the
Yeah, there were
Saturday
movie
morning.
references here and there, but yeah, not as much cartoons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really took form in the '90s. It was like an
Mm,
institution in the '90s.
mm. Oh
There's
man,
a
yeah.
lot. There's so much they could do. The killer bees are coming. The killer bees are coming. Oh man, they never came, but like we kept getting commercials about how the killer bees are coming. You could do stuff
Mhm,
with that. Like, dude,
mhm,
there's
mhm.
so much stuff. The bombing
Yeah.
of the World Trade Center before 9/11, there was an original
Oh
bombing.
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
You could throw
Uh-huh.
some really dark stuff. I'm not saying don't talk about Columbine. Like, don't make it too depressing. But like, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that you could do.
Mm,
The '90s is jam packed full of content.
mhm.
Music, movies, uh, media, everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
It just really comes down to like what's the What's the story they want to tell? Do they want to tell another group story? Do they want to tell an individual story, and how he connects to relates to the world or doesn't relate to the world? All right, so Travis. It looks like a reference back to Aqua Teen. One of my favorites is when Frylock's jewel is taken from his back, and he starts acting mentally disabled. I laughed too much. That sounds crazy. Mikhail, no. Travis once up saying, "I'm not ready for the characters to be watching Mad About You and asking when Dr. Owens had an acting career. One fault that came with the episode of the last 2 seasons is you lose a lot of time to have the characters live and breathe in the 80s like you did in season 1 through 3." That's fair. I definitely see that. Um,
Yeah, hang on. Travis has got a whole like story. Hang on, let me look at this.
are you talking
Uh,
about the spinoff of
you know,
Enzo that I was
yeah,
talking about?
yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, you covered that. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
But
yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Again, Travis, thank you for sharing. Like, you got some interesting ideas. I like that. Got some creative ideas of what this could look like. So there's all kinds of ways they could take it. Um, it would have to be an homage to stuff from the 90s, like Clueless, um, Reality Bites, Hackers. Bro, if they had like, I was like, oh, if they went like with hacking and stuff. I don't know if you ever saw the original Hackers movie. It's like this whole acid trip, the Fifth Element, all that, bro, all that stuff. So, the Home Alone movies, Jurassic Park. There's a lot. There's a lot. The 90s are chock full of stuff.
yeah, so as far as the feeling of the last 2 seasons, as much paying homage and member bearing the 80s, yeah, it definitely was lessened, but the greater needs, for instance, of the overarching story, I think took over, and
Yeah.
they only last so much. I think I was watching the director for Alien Romulus talking about, like, you can only get so far of member berries, and if your like entire film or project is like built on member berries, then it's not going to be that great a story ultimately.
Is
That
is
was his
Alien
feeling.
Romulus?
That was a
Yeah.
little over a year
Oh,
ago.
X, thank you, Travis. X-Files, obviously X-Files.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe I missed that. I didn't really watch X-Files as a kid, but I mean, clearly, Men in Black, X-Files, Independence Day. Just, I mean,
Oh
forget about it.
man,
Like,
Power Rangers, VR Troopers. Yeah,
oh
having
my
a
god,
connection to all that stuff, incredible. It'd be so
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Beetleborgs. Yep.
oh yeah,
Superhuman
yeah.
Samurai, Mystic Knights of Lake.
The first sprinklings of like anime popularity in America,
Man,
Dragon
that's
Ball,
that that would be yes. That would
Sailor
be
Moon,
really cool.
Pokemon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Genobi wound up saying, thought it was funny how they just grouped all the young adults together and they're in their like many ending among endings like Lord of the Rings. My husband and I know that when they try to group up once a month, that's totally gonna fall through. 110%.
That was the first thing I thought
110%.
when I saw that. Ain't no way they're gonna own up to that
Dude,
commitment. Ain't no
exactly.
way.
No. Of course not. Of course not.
Anything and everything's gonna get in the way of that. I got stuff to do. Oh, I had a late day at work. I'm just gonna stay home tonight. And oh,
That
forget
was
about it.
the most relatable ending out of all of them. Like them, looking out across the forest at the sunset or whatever, all happy when like they all know this mess is falling apart day one,
Ladies and
month
gentlemen, the
one.
fact that we get this podcast like once a week on Monday or maybe Tuesday is an act of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Do you understand? Like,
Yeah,
this man has
yeah,
a. I'm not listen. I'm not trying to dox him, but like he's got all kinds of stuff going on, beautiful, wonderful things going on in his life. As
yeah.
do I. The fact that
Yep.
we make this commitment and are able to stick with it to give you guys this live stream, bro. That's just two of us. That's two of us, mind you. There's four. There's There's at least 4 people in that equation. Forget
Oh
it,
yeah,
bro.
it's done for.
No,
You could already see it. Like Jonathan's over there. Yeah, you're talking about Jonathan's weird movies. Jonathan's over
they're
there
in different
trying to get
states.
them to record a movie in Nancy's uncle's basement or something.
They're in different states, bro. Bro,
Oh no!
no,
Oh no!
all that
Oh
traffic you
no!
got to drive through. No, if
Oh
anything
no!
comes up, bro, I can't make it.
Mm-mm,
I just
mm-mm.
remembered I had something I got to do.
Dude,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Let me know
yeah.
the next time y'all meet up. I'll try to make it.
Did you didn't you get the feeling that like this event has been like so crazy and like traumatic in their life? I didn't get the feeling that they were like the best. They were just like dying to be with each other. I got the feeling that like, bro, we're running across the world. We're turning our backs on this whole situation. Like,
Bro, if they were all there having a meeting, it should have been at a methadone clinic, bro. These kids should not be okay at all.
no, not okay.
PTSD, like beyond PTSD. Like forget about it. There's nothing. Nah, man. The fact that they're not all druggies is either highly aspirational or highly unrealistic. You decide.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
I mean,
Oh, that's actually.
have you ever seen a Vietnam War vet that had a that saw some things in Vietnam? He's still not okay.
Mm, mm,
He's
mhm,
still going through
mhm,
things. All right. He
mhm,
may be homeless. Like I mean, again, what this country did to Vietnam War vets is horrible. That's a whole other thing. This is
mm.
a movie podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, the level of trauma that these young adults, these
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
no.
That was something that struck me, um, like in the last like 30 minutes of this film. Like even to some degree, when they're all happily like driving back and are thinking they're just gonna like pull up into the real world and like everything was fine. Like, yeah, no way, no way. Like, yeah,
No.
levels of disturbing, broken minds and experiencing that this, yeah, one of these people had like a full on mental breakdown just from going to another dimension alone. I'm sure. Travis had a fascinating kind of idea. So I think the key is looking at 80s movies and 90s movies had
That had
sequels
90s
that had
sequels.
90s sequels and taking the tone from that, going from Terminator, which was horror, to Terminator 2, which is one straight action. So the thought is Stranger Things volume 2, not volume 2 or series 2 being straight action, just like Speed or something like that. Which, well, that's a terrible example because it started in the 90s. But Terminator, like you're saying, going yeah, from horror to action. Yeah, man, if they did something like that,
I
you
mean,
know,
they got a Michael Bay and Jerry Bruckheimer the crap out
oh
of
my
these
gosh, yeah.
out of that version of Stranger Things.
It
Oh
would
yeah.
need to be so good as an action film to like make people okay with it be being a complete genre change. I could see it. I could be down with it. I don't know. It's like, do you still call it Stranger Things at that point? Like, maybe. Yeah, it's still called Terminator.
Stranger
So.
Things was good. Stranger Things.
Oh man. Oh my
Clap for
gosh.
that.
Yeah.
And clap for that.
It's like what? It's like Cheers getting a spin-off of Frasier where it goes from one, everyone chilling
It's
at a
gonna
bar
happen
to yeah.
No, it would be Stranger Things. Oh, this would make it perfectly 90s. Stranger
Mm,
Things Extreme. For those of you who
mm,
don't know, the marketing term du jour of the 90s was extreme.
nice.
Everything was extreme.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Travis is
Lots lots
talking
of
about
rollerblades
Phenom a
and
little bit here.
skateboards. Hmm?
Extreme. I know, right? I mean, he literally is
Danger
going in that
Things.
direction. Danger Things. With the
Danger
Vietnam thing,
Things. All right.
look at John Rambo. Oh man, yeah, I can't even get a job parking cars. Well, yeah, not necessarily action. That's just an example of transitioning franchise to a new decade. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean. But even with Alien to Aliens, yeah, there was the addition of action, where it didn't necessarily fully leave the genre. It just added, yeah, a new fold into
Or
it.
they could go in the direction of like the Star Wars prequels and just have a bunch of Senate hearings.
You've hit it. That's exactly what everybody wants from it. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Nancy's political advance, from
Oh,
through college into become state governor. Something.
oh,
Yeah. All right. Let's get back for a half second to
a
this
rehash
this
of
this
Ally
season.
McBeal.
Oh
Oh
man,
gosh.
bro,
Oh, ugh,
please. I don't
ugh,
even.
ah,
She
mm,
look. She can't get
ugh,
any thinner. But we're
ah.
not gonna go into that direction on this episode. All right, so Stranger Things. This ending here. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a sucker for some things. I'm happy that Lucas wound up getting Max back. They're in the direction of something positive. Man, 2 years of being in that like mind palace coma situation. I dug Will getting his powers in this season. I immediately thought about Harry Potter and Voldemort. You know,
I
I'm
thought
sure it's
I thought Tetsu from Akira.
Tetsuo from here. I did think a little bit of
Oh
Akira as well. Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, like, were there any anime references in any of the Stranger
no,
Things
no.
seasons?
What I was thinking was like
I'm like,
the dungeon the D&D players of the 80s were kind of in some ways because like the satanic panic was kind of gone in the 90s. So
yeah,
like if you
yeah.
liked it, you were just a nerd, right? And that's
Hmm.
fine. But like the
It showed up in some
D&D,
small ways here and there with like Pokemon and Harry
yeah,
Potter.
but the
Yeah.
D&D of the 80s
Hmm.
minus the satanic panic was the anime nerds of the 90s. And
Hmm. Hmm. Oh no, your audio cut out. Okay, it's
oh,
back. It's back.
yeah, like
Nancy,
trying to explain to
Nancy,
somebody what Dragon Ball was.
Zenobi, Nancy was definitely Rambo Jr. or Discount Rambo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was funny when they were like, you've enrolled in the military or something like that. Joined the Navy. Anyways. Yeah, no. I mean, you hitting on something good. Like, I don't know that I don't remember being anime being like torn apart or it was picked apart in some of the same ways.
Not
Here
for
and
the
there.
same reason
Not
that
not as
D&D
not as
was in the
much.
80s.
Yeah, not to the same degree. But I do
It was like just
think
weird, just
there
weird
is
cartoon stuff
definitely
again.
room to make a series that like wholly takes advantage of like the love of Power Rangers, Pokemon, anime, all that stuff, and presents it
Early
in a story.
anime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saturday anime on the Sci-Fi Channel, bro.
Yeah.
I need to be in that documentary, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That was me.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Going
me.
going on uTorrent, going on LimeWire,
I'm
getting those
bro, that,
episodes.
that that was college. For me, that was college. That was way afterwards.
That was
I'm
late
I'm,
90s.
I'm no,
Early thousands.
yeah,
Early
like that was
thousands more. Yeah.
LimeWire and stuff came in the 2000s. Like
Yeah.
Napster was like the late 90s.
Mm.
Um, but like I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to catch Vampire Hunter D, on Saturday morning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was my life. Let me tell you, like the whole your room is pitch dark and you watching that you know, uh big bright TV screen blasting in your face, that light and your eyes have not yet adjusted to it. And then you had a Tampico punch, Sprite cocktail cooling in the refrigerator and you're sipping on that, watching this super bright, vibrant colors of Beast Wars and then Dragon Ball Z, and you are tripping Nerf balls, bro. If you weren't there, I can't explain it. Like all I can do is describe it to you. You don't like listen. I didn't do drugs or anything like that. To this day, I don't do drugs, but like uh, I did mess around with a sugar high at 6 o'clock in the morning, ice cold chill Tampico punch, sipping on that, watching some Dragon Ball Z. Like these kids don't know what life is. That's all I'm trying to say. This was pre-internet, you guys. Like this is a life you don't know, and that's okay. You don't need to know. I'm just telling you that life existed once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So wait,
Mm-hmm.
are we on the negatives or the positives? Like what
Oh, by
we
the
haven't really talked
I
about.
mean, we were kind of in the negatives, but then I was trying to switch us up to like maybe just a few questions on like where was the resolution or the story for characters or pairs of characters satisfying in this? Was there anyone you want to talk about in particular? Were you like happy with Elle's story struggle throughout the season and her sacrificing herself for for
Okay,
moving?
so if they were the whole thing about them, like, hey, we have to sacrifice ourselves, they shouldn't have been teasing that for as long as they did. Because then, like, oh, then Hopper has that whole conversation. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I'm not gonna do it. Eh, that should have been something that like you get surprised with at the end. You know what I mean? I think that would have been
Hmm.
better instead of like teasing it the episode before, talking about it, and then having this whole consternation about it. It's like they just been hitting that same note like for 2 episodes. It's like, you should have held on to that. If it were me, I wouldn't have like brought that up until like the very like right when the decision had to be made.
Oh, sorry, you're
Where there
talking
was no
about,
in
yeah,
between.
L staying in
Elle and Callie's sacrificing
the
themselves,
wormhole.
staying in the upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So there's that. Otherwise,
Ready Player One does come close, yeah, with a bunch of references. But KC's saying many people are upset how short the fight scene is. Do you guys agree with this or disagree?
I mean,
Uh,
between Eleven and Ellen Vecna,
I'm thinking, yeah, that fight scene also with the Mind Flayer. Yeah. Um,
oh, that's fine.
I mean, I ultimately know that that's not like the main point of like all that's going down. Like I was saying earlier, like the greater theme of like closing a chapter of life. I know Vecna and like the conflict is a factor to it, and then bringing back the Mind Flayer, seeing a big fight is a factor to it, but it's literally just the story of the kids and their relationships with each other, and and then the tears out from that. So could it have been more dynamic? Could it have been more satisfying if it was bigger, potentially had Demogorgons, Demodogs factored into it? Could have made the Mind Flayer into something more strategically interesting. Vecna's back and forth could have been taken advantage of, like using the being itself to fight and all that stuff. Like maybe, yeah, Will going in there and Max somehow getting back in there and fighting. Like it could have definitely been grander, and I would have had fun with it being grander. Um, they just would
All
have,
right,
yeah,
question. Was Vecna and the spider two separate entities, or are they just
yeah,
two parts of one whole entity?
yeah. They're two separate entities. Like the big, like one of the big reveals of this episode was how the Mind Flayer was still alive, even though it was not fully beaten. What was that? Season two, season three? I think it was season three with Sam's brother. Like it wasn't fully beaten that time. It was just pushed back. Its mind was like pushed back into its dimension, I guess. And then it was just biding its time. It was kind of hiding, I guess, and using Vecna as the vessel. But then Vecna was choosing to be the vessel. I do like a bit of that story. Where we get more of like why he became what he was a bit, and I didn't exactly need them to like tease the potential of him turning. I'm not always like a huge fan of them like justifying a villain for why he's evil and like giving him tragic backstory. He like wound up murdering somebody, but it's fine. It's fine the way it is. I mean, people do want more layered villains more often than not, and like we're bringing up comparisons to like Voldemort and stuff. It's not like crazy far away from what happens in that. Um, but yes, sorry.
I didn't watch the
Short,
Harry
short,
Potter
short
stuff.
story
I'll
is
catch
Voldemort. Short story is yes. The Mind Flayer is a separate thing. Like every time they were zooming up from Vecna, we saw a beating thing. I guess yeah, that was the heart of the Mind Flayer, and yeah, completely different being, giving Vecna his power. Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
Um,
So
oh,
Travis is saying 28 didn't get cable until I was like 12. had to suffer through Caillou, Dragon Tales, and Arthur. I mean,
Oh
I
my
could see it being suffering for some people. I was cool with some of those series. Um, they were just different. They were just different. It wasn't exactly
And I
X Men
say,
or
hey,
Batman.
what a wonderful world to play. And learn and get along with each other.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah.
wonderful time to say, hey. Hang on. Arthur, hang on. You guys know that meme? You know the
Yes,
Arthur meme?
yeah, the Arthur meme. Yep, yep.
It's
That's
pretty funny.
when, yeah, yeah. His sister DW, crazy. Look, I
PW,
get it.
PW. Yeah.
Cable
What's
did
the
have
story
Cable did have
you
some
wish
cool stuff.
on?
There's some good stuff on basic channels for sure too.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were gonna say
Um.
something right before.
Oh, one thing that I wish they hadn't done. Okay. So what they did, this is kind of a tie-in to the animated Netflix animated series Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of season 2, I always said to myself, that's where Alucard, basically, he kills his father Dracula, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or defeats him, kills him, whatever. And so
Mm-hmm.
he's back in his childhood house, and he's just kind of sitting there, and he just starts weeping, right? And then it just goes to credits, and they go silent, right? And it just has the credits, right? It's the end of the season, the finale episode. It's a great episode, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
always thought, man, if I could recut this episode, I would just have I would have had When Doves Cry play. Like that would have been the perfect. Why do we scream at each other? Live in the world. Maybe I'm just like my mother. Maybe I'm just like my father too. Maybe I'm just. She never said it. It's like the absolute perfect song to end that season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in this scene, they put the timer on. They put the Prince record on, and this is what I wish just artistically, I wish that they just would have let the song play. Maybe they didn't have the rights to it. Whatever, it's Netflix. They can get the rights to it, right?
Yeah.
And
Are,
just
are
let
you
it play.
talking about outside of L's head? Yeah,
No,
like
no,
when.
they set the detonator right, and then they let the record play, and when it hit the little
Yeah, that's
figure
right. Yeah,
thing,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
boom, right, the C4 goes off. So
Mm-hmm.
like they're driving back in the truck or whatever, and before they go back in, before the tires get popped and all that stuff. Just a little. I just wish it was like almost like a silent montage, and it's just playing Prince, not an edited version of the song like they had, but just let the song play,
Mm-hmm.
and then just have like little voiceless, kind of like silent character interactions, and that song is just playing. 'Cause that song is perfect. That song is perfect for so many like endings. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so,
Then we got a little
anyway,
purple
I
purple
thought that
rain
was
also inside L's head with Mike.
yeah. I'm not as big a fan of that song, but yes, it's a classic song, and that would have
Yeah,
also worked.
yeah.
Um, But like when Doves Cry is just it's too perfect. It's too perfect. Dig if
Mm-hmm.
you will the picture, you and I engaged in a kiss. Like it's super dope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they had done that. I guess that I'll count that as a negative. Um,
Yeah, sure.
uh,
I
yeah,
mean, like we're saying, they weren't taking as bold chances with a bunch of things. That's a little bit of more of a bold chance to take. Uh, they want people talking with each other. They want people, yeah, having conversation and
which is fine.
relating. Mm-hmm.
So okay, that's fine. Is there anything else? There's not a whole lot negative. Um,
Well, yeah. Let's see. The last thing that I wound up covering. Yeah, were you happy with Will? Getting his powers from Vecna, and yeah, I guess being the vessel of Vecna, creating all the
I'm not
tunnels
afraid
and
anymore.
stuff like that.
And his eyes are all whited out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I'm glad he's
Yeah.
just not a wuss the entire time. Just like a whiny wuss the entire
Mm,
series.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Finally
I
get
was I
like
was happy to see
finally like
change for him.
yeah, like that was nice. You know, yeah, so that was
It
cool.
it's I mean it's fascinating that you were actually more cool with I'm forgetting the name of the actress right now. Um, from Terminator. No, no,
Bobby
no,
Millie,
no,
Bobby
no.
Brown.
The doctor, the military. side of
Oh,
things.
Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton. Yeah.
No, is that her name?
Yeah. Wait. Linda Hamilton? Is that it? Yeah, I think so.
Wait, did
Anyways.
Linda Hamilton play Wonder Woman in the 70s? Oh man.
Oh wait. No,
Oh
no, no. No, you're thinking Linda Carter, I think, right? I think it was
yes,
Linda Hamilton.
yes,
Yeah.
Linda Carter. Yes, yes,
All right.
yes,
Genobi
Linda
saying, I feel like
Hamilton.
everyone got a nice, joyful ending, and Will just sitting in a bar. I wanted more from him. Well, yeah. I mean, he gets the he gets the ending that he's wanting. He's moving forward and being himself.
This
Yeah.
big gay ending or something. Whatever.
Like, yeah. It's. I see that. Like, yeah. Unfortunately, you don't really get much conversation or yeah. Um.
Yeah, it's like he didn't do anything with his life except be gay. I'm like, all right. I mean, like that's
He's
all
just
he did
moving
with his
forward.
life. Like he didn't do like he didn't. That's it.
The
All
sad
right.
thing is, he did get a downgrade in hairstyle. His hair was not
Oh,
looking as good.
yeah, it's
The
like
'90s were rough on people, right? No,
eh,
it was not
is
quite
gay
the
an
'90s just yet.
occupation? Is it like that's it?
No.
Like Will, he was a writer. Those
Mike was the writer. Yeah. Oh, I'm
yeah, Mike
so
was a
I'm
writer.
so glad. I'm so glad they didn't have him like pull up the his paper and it said Stranger Things like right on it. I'm like, please
Yeah, yeah,
don't do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Please hold us from
Please.
that. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
glad they
do
didn't
it.
do that. The
Yeah.
other two, presumably the black kid and the ginger girl, presumably they get married and have a
Lucas
bunch of
and
kids.
Max. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucas and Max.
It's heading in that
Presumably,
direction.
they've already fallen in love. They're already in love.
I believed
Presumably,
it.
they get married
I believe it. I
and stuff.
liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Their
I'm
little
happy with
conversation.
that.
Look, yeah, I was happy Max was able to get back on the skateboard. We see her moving around, doing
Oh
things.
yeah, I guess
You
that was
know,
meaningful. I didn't really care. I didn't register when I first watched it, but yeah, she was a big skateboarder, and her legs were atrophied, so it took her time.
yeah.
So yeah, it was good to see her back too.
There was that flashback scene to like all the hurt. I think you were talking about what the buyers, Winona, not Winona. It's the Winona writer, but what's her name? No, Joyce Byers' moment before she hacks Vecna. Uh, I guess because Max wasn't there, they didn't have like any reference to Max's brother. Little bit sad. Little bit sad that did not happen. But it's fine.
Oh, he was the jerk that died, right?
Yeah,
He
but
was
then
like the super mega jerk.
he had a heroic moment. By the end of that
He's
season.
Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of forget. Like yeah, he was kind of F boy, and then like he kind of had a change of heart at the end, and then he sacrificed himself. Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
I mean, he got taken over. He was like controlled and stuff.
Yeah,
So
but he was an F boy before that, right?
of sorts, of sorts. Yeah, I think it was more so. Yeah, he was mean. He was driving around all that stuff, right? It was one of those situations where like him and his sister were going through hard times, and he was just more spiky, and dealing with people in a more
Yeah.
spiky way. But Genobi's saying that yeah, with Will, they wanted it was kind of a basic ending. They wanted to see him succeed in some other ways as well. Yeah. Um,
I mean,
it's
he succeeded.
fair.
If succeeded is a euphemism, but otherwise, yeah. I mean, it was just that's just his story is. I don't like
True.
girls. All right, cool.
True.
I mean, whatever. Like that's the
Right.
joke. Like, all right, like I mean,
Yeah.
he already had his come up, which was like the superpowers that he no longer has because Vecna's now dead. And so the only other part about him, he's not scared. So the only other thing about him that is, you know, he's gay. All right.
So I did think, yeah, I get what you're talking about. I did think that, okay. I mean, as we were building up to the ending, beating Vecna, Mind Flare, coming back to the real world, I was like wondering, does Elle potentially lose her powers like once the wormhole is closed? Is does everyone only have powers when they're exposed to the what was it called? Strange particles?
Yeah.
Um
I get the sense
like
that
once that because it was like active in the wormhole. Like if that wormhole is closed off, I could have seen a possibility where, and I guess it makes the ending even happier, which people might not be happy with, but like once that's closed, that no one has access to that, and so like L doesn't, doesn't need to just die within the void of the wormhole. But
Yeah, but that
um
would kind of defeat the point of her running away if she survived. Because if she doesn't have access to powers, there's, I mean, they might chase her, but then
sure.
they would find out she didn't have the powers and they couldn't replicate it, and then they would leave her alone. Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah, that's the yeah. I'm
Thing.
glad you're getting to it. Yeah.
So after everything happens, then like, tell me the name of the town again. Shelby
Hawkins.
Hawkins. Yes, Hawkins.
We get the creation of the Mustang right there and in the town.
Yeah, Hawkins. Like,
Steve drives off in the first no.
there was no talk about like the government, like they just picked up and packed up and left. Like that doesn't sound quite right. Like they're not
No,
just
I
gonna leave this
know.
town alone. Like that's too
Those
convenient.
yeah, the dark the more I don't know, potentially realistic. I don't know how
And
the
whatever
military
happened to
works, but ending
the
but
colonel,
would be the
the colonel,
military takes those people and hides them away somewhere and is
or they just
interrogating them
nuke.
for
They just drop a nuke on Hawkins. Like that's more, like that's likely what they would have done,
yeah.
viewing Hawkins as an existential threat to
Hmm.
everywhere outside of Hawkins.
Hmm.
The fact that they just like went along their lives like normal. We didn't find out what happened to the general, Linda
Hmm.
Hamilton's
Hmm.
character. She
Hmm.
didn't die. We didn't. There's nothing.
No, no. And part of my thought connected to all that as well is what was all the information that like because the scientists were the ones that I guess discovered that rock or whatever, I guess. That probably is how through that they were able to do all these experiments to like I don't know if they started the wormhole or just discovered the hole. I don't remember. Maybe yeah, maybe the rift was there. I don't know because I guess they built there was the building on the other side. Like were they responsible for the strange particles wormhole thing? Yeah, I don't know. Part of me just wonders like how does the military not just go about doing this like once again somewhere else? Was it all connected to the program, and since the program's gone then they couldn't just kickstart things again? Is that I guess that's why they were looking for L.
There
um
needed to be some kind of explanation, some kind of resolution to the military presence, and it wasn't there at all.
mhm. Mhm. Yeah, not
Yeah,
really.
I don't remember the high school principal being particularly like villainous or like a character that you're supposed to not like.
I did
I
not
didn't
need
get
those
that at
cutaways
all.
to him. That was like, no, this is a waste of time. Like
But
him
like, was
looking
that established in the
incredulous.
earlier seasons? Was that established that he's kind of a goof or we don't like him? He's getting in the kid's way. Was that ever established in any of the seasons before? I
I
don't
mean,
remember any of that.
if it was like 7 years ago, and I have no recollection. I didn't need to
Yes,
see
like
him over there
so
frustrated
Dustin's
while
all like
Dustin was giving his speech. Yeah.
all flipping them off and everything. I'm like, why are you? Why is the principal catching stray shots? Like, what's going on? I don't get it. Like, why are you guys? Why are you dunking on this dude? Like, I don't like. It's weird. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
I mean, to be
obviously,
fair, like his dunking on the whole school doesn't exactly make sense to me either. But it's kind of
yeah,
just a rebellious team kind of thing to do, right?
yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, and can we just not? Can we just point out the sheer obvious like, oh, we could play Dungeons and Dragons at my house versus go like talk to some hot girls like
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that
ain't
up. Yeah.
ain't no freaking way. Listen, they have a history, they have a past. They didn't like. She's like, I have an even better. I thought he was gonna do something like really crazy or cool, or I found out where Elle is, or something like that, right? No, they're just playing Dungeons. Bro, you could do that tomorrow. The honeys is like inviting you tonight. Like that's weird. Yes. Um, like yeah, like
But Austin,
figure
our
out your.
characters, yes, they've been through all 10 years of 3 years of their lives together, going through all this. Girls can wait, bros
Like
before
these are not good
.
friends. If your friends are like, oh, the hot girl, and like, no, let's do D&D instead, bro. You need a new friend group. Like, Y- go. Listen. If you crash and burn, then just come to the house later tonight, and then you can join the campaign. But no, like go shoot your shot, bro. Like these are that was weird. It's like, oh, you have a chance to go to this party, or I mean, just hang out with this girl. Shoot your shot, politic, do what you do. No, we're gonna play D and this thing that we've already been doing for years. Like yeah, that's weird. That was
Mm,
weird.
mm, mm.
It's like,
Look, Dustin and Steve are
bro,
different people.
bro,
Steve,
hell no,
Steve
bro.
would have
I'm
shown up to
going to
that
this
party, right?
party. I'm going to this party, bro. Like y'all can start without me. I might never come back, bro. You might have to burn my campaign book, bro. I might be out here. You know?
That's so funny. There was actually a part of me that thought, like, while they were doing the D&D game, like, after all this, like, you tell me none of these kids hates this mess now?
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, yeah,
Funny little detail. I think it was what in the second to last episode. Mike was who was he talking? He was talking to somebody. He was talking to um Robin's girl, Anne with an E. Anyways, the nurse. It was like the name of the creature is Demogorgon, and I'm like, yeah, within your group, sure, but like its literal name isn't Demogorgon, but that's all right. I'll let it go anyways. And every time they're talking about Vecna, it's like Vecna. No. I'm glad like he doesn't call himself Vecna. He's Henry. But anyways, funny little side detail. But yeah, part of me is like, these kids are gonna hate going on adventures because they don't want to have anything to do with all they just went through, because they've like literally connected D&D to like the horrors that they've been through. Yeah.
yeah, 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 man. Fellas, go shoot your shot. Like, if a girl is giving you an open, an in, like go shoot your shot. Crash and burn, succeed, and throw like whatever, man. Just take a shot. Don't go play D&D with the book. Stop. Don't do that. Shoot your shot. Goodness. You know, see what happens. Like I'm not guaranteeing any outcome. I'm just saying, like, go take a shot. You know,
So you're saying since Steve learned a lot from Dustin, Dustin should learn in the reverse some things from Steve.
yeah. Or maybe like Steve in that moment should have like just scooped in and like, hey, oh, he loves you, man. Oh man, yeah. And blah blah blah. Yeah, he'll be there tonight, man. Yeah, I mean, big man, I can't like he would like gassed him up a little bit. And then hey, listen, cut all that nerd crap out. Like that's what you do with us because we're your friends. We know you. She don't know you like that, bro. Keep it real simple, right? You're trying to talk up here. She's way down here. You need to come down here, right? She is not at your level.
Hey,
Um,
bro, we don't know much about her. She may be completely accepting all that stuff. She was letting his whatever jokes or things he was trying to say slide. Like he was fumbling the plays right there in that moment. She was like turning around and then inviting him. So like she might be more cool with it than you think. He's got to take the chance
bro,
though.
she is not at your level, bro. She is way down here. She's got a pretty face. That's about it, bro. You were saying some intelligent stuff, and she was not there. She was not there. So
All
you
right.
just need to like bring it there, and that's fine. Sometimes it's the opposite, but like in this case, you need to bring it down and shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Save all that stuff, and when she's ready to meet you there, she just heard you say a cool speech. She thought you were kind of badass. Like, just take
hmm
it at. Don't take it beyond any. Don't go beyond that. You
hmm
know what I'm
Yeah. Also, I do
saying?
got to give Dustin his flowers a little bit. He went through what a whole year or two of depression, and he still wound up valedictorian. Bro, made it happen. Made it happen.
Good for him.
She
Um,
did let his nerd freak flag fly.
Even better than Michael
She did.
swooping in to save him. It should have been the teacher that was hooking up with the nurse or the librarian.
Mm, mm,
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
oh yeah, he'll be there for sure. He'll be there for sure. Listen, I got some cologne back in my house. Listen, we'll get you set up. Or maybe him and Michael came together and like just like got him set up and ready for that night. Listen, you talking way up
Mm-hmm.
here, bring it way down here, bro. Trust me, bring it way down. And yeah, like just had him straight and ready to go. That's what they should have done, but no, they just did Dungeons and Dragons at home for like the thousandth time. Like, whatever,
Ain't gonna lie, like graduating from high school, something like that happens. It's the perfect opportunity. People about to go
bro.
off to college, like might as well take a swing.
Fly like an eagle. This
Oh
is
my gosh,
yeah.
talking about '90s. Dang, yes, yes, that was
That just number one. That's a seal was
man.
covering a song from the '70s or whatever.
Well,
But that was on the
true.
space. Oh my gosh,
That's what I
Space
was
Jam in the
thinking. Space
'90s,
Jam in the '90s. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
bro.
What I'm
Oh
talking about.
man,
Yes, yes.
yeah. The Toon Squad, like forget about it, bro. The aliens that came, bro. Oh man, you could have so much fun doing a '90s version of
Yeah.
this. There's too much stuff. There's too much stuff.
Travis much earlier
Dang it.
was saying Duffer Brothers are doing animation stuff now. I guess there's a Tales of 1985. If it goes well, maybe we could get 86, 87, so on. So yeah, maybe there's some more animation stuff coming out from the
Like
brothers.
to be honest with you, like if it's good, I'm down with it, right? But like I'm kind of cool. Like I don't need to see anything more from the '80s. Like I think they did it and they did it well.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna do something, I'd much rather they do something new, even
Hmm.
if that just means like doing like a very similar show in a different decade.
Hmm.
Um, I'd be down with that. Like I said, like we just nostalgia dumped all this stuff from the '90s over the course of this conversation. There's
Yeah.
so much material to work with, almost too much stuff to work with. You know,
Hmm.
um, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. You know, like
Oh man.
just too much stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, so
Hmm.
anyway, I don't really have much more to say. Like you know, it was a good ending. It was an overall, you know, generally satisfying ending. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad these kids get to act like adults and be in adult roles now. Um, yeah, I'm happy for them.
Lucas's sister still cool. Could have gotten more
She's
time with
fine.
her, but you know that's all right.
Yeah, she's
They're
sassy.
like, we need to
She's
give her a little
personable.
more
She's
time. We'll
cool.
have her on the side shooting off confetti. You know.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
Mad at her.
No, no, no. All
Um,
right, all right, all right, all right. Well, yeah, you know, look, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about regarding this, shoot it up into the chat. We'll take a little bit here. Otherwise, we'll probably start to wrap this up.
yeah. I am blown away by the live chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you for going on this journey with us and sharing your
Thank you.
thoughts with us.
Thank you.
This has been fantastic. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Oh my God, this is awesome. Like, we are geeking right now. We are
Mhm.
eating real well. Thank you to everybody that's just been like sharing your thoughts with us and like letting us know what's up and informing us and briefing us on things. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. Um,
Yeah.
you guys,
I
again, if you
guess
guys
yeah.
have any,
Let me ask one more thing.
yeah,
Were you cool with the new kids in the situation? Holly and her story, and you know the whole thing inside Vecta's mind.
and what was it dip dipstick
Devin, was it Devin?
Devin? Eh, it's fine, I guess. Um, like it couldn't be the original
No,
cast
not
doing all
Devin,
that
not
stuff.
Devin. It wasn't Devin, right?
Derek or something,
Derek, I think Derek.
something like that. I mean, you needed more people. Like you needed a separate cast of characters doing that stuff while the main characters were doing their thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it had to be somebody. If it's the little kids, that's fine. It's whatever. Um, and it makes Henry look like more of like a weirdo. But he's got kind of Peter Pan syndrome himself because like you know he's stuck in as a Boy Scout who got his hands got shot in the hand and then he freaked out and had to kill the guy which wasn't his fault. But then he opened up the thing and looked at it, and then his whole life was determined after that. So I mean, he's PTSDing the whole way through himself. But one part that I thought was interesting was like, it's like no, 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 like I chose this life. I wanted Vecna, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad they
Yeah,
had him end it like that. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, yes, I was traumatized and things happen, but no, you're mistaken about me. No, I wanted this. So
On here? Mhm.
yeah, like it kind of counters the whole like the backstory, anti-hero backstory kind of narrative that we've become so accustomed to. Where like the bad guy's never really a bad guy and the good guy's never really a good guy. They're always kind of like fiddling somewhere in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, like
I'm
I'm
cool
glad
with
now.
I'm cool with it. Yeah. Let evil be evil.
Yeah, I'm cool
Yeah.
with the bad guy being the
Mhm.
bad guy.
Yep. Yep.
Like I think we've done the whole anti-hero thing to death. Like we're I mean the 90 again, that's a big part of the 90s too. They kind of ushered that
Mhm.
in.
Mhm.
We've kind of like beat that horse to death.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
happy with like superheroes being superheroes and supervillains being supervillains. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
good kids
Yeah,
are
I
good.
can see the desire to know more potentially about the mind flare and its desires, but also at the same time, it's like, it's just the devil. It's just evil. It's just it wants to bring the two worlds together. It's fine that way.
Yeah. I don't need any more lore dumps about these monster creatures. Like I'm good.
Hmm.
What I know about them is sufficient.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch a whole nother season or a whole nother series just about those creatures.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, if it was just those creatures, I wouldn't have watched Stranger Things in to begin with. I like the kids and their character development and them trying to help Elle and the I like the adults how they got involved, how they
Hmm.
saw what the kids' plight was and they came in to help them. Like I like that whole progression.
Hmm.
The monsters were just kind of you know they were just part of what they were dealing with, but they weren't the thing itself.
Yeah.
That's not what got me into the show. What got me
Right.
in the show was the character dynamics
Hmm.
and the cool relationships that the kids had, and how it's a complete nostalgic send up homage to
Hmm.
these movies that I saw as a kid. So
Yeah.
that's what I liked.
Totally, man. Totally.
I don't need the 12 episode exploration of the mind. I'm not gonna watch that. I don't care that much. I really don't
Yeah.
need that.
No, 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 exactly. Yeah.
I need that about as much as I need an
as
intergalactic.
yeah.
I need that about as much as I need an intergalactic Senate hearing in a Star Wars movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
Hard
Mhm.
pass.
Mhm. Mhm.
Actually, in
Yep.
the special edition of the Phantom Menace, the Mind Flayer is in one of those Senate spheres, right next to the ET aliens. Yeah, go find that.
Yep. He's like, you know what? Look, I'm gonna let all this pass by. A long, long time from now, in the future, I'm gonna try and take over once all this is gone. Yep. All right. Thanks, guys, for being with me. So one little fun little detail here, as Austin was alluded to earlier, and as I've said on previous episodes, I do have a little one, and this little one, my wife reminded me we have a little fun item to show off. Is
Oh,
the number one Super Center Bros
oh.
fan? Yeah. Yep. The headphones, the orange, which by the way, these are Naruto. You can see the Konoha. Yeah. It's so very sweet. One of our friends made this for our daughter. Cool, cool, very awesome.
Very
Um,
awesome.
Now, very excited. Next week, I don't know what we're doing in 2 weeks from now, but next week I have seen it already, and Austin will see it this weekend. Very excited. Park Chan Wook. No other
Oh, that's right.
choice.
The movie
No other
we wanted to
choice.
review 2 weeks ago, but there were no screenings in my city, so therefore I
Yeah.
could not watch it. I'm looking forward to seeing that film.
Yeah.
Also, there's another movie that we wanted to see, but there were no screenings for. It's now available on Netflix. I
Yeah.
did watch that movie, and I definitely want to talk to you about that and review that with you.
100
Um,
meters.
yes,
Yeah.
Hyaku
Mm-hmm.
Emu. So like 100 M for meters. That's how they say it
Yaku Emu.
in
Nice.
Japanese.
But yeah,
And if
this
I can
weekend
feel
and this week, I think this weekend for sure. But yeah, no other choice. Park Chan Wook, the man that made a bunch of crazy films over the years, going back to Old Boy and even beyond. Newest film in theaters right now. Come around and let's chop it up about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right
All
now,
right. So,
worth going out and checking out. But we will talk more
yeah.
about it next Monday.
All right. So, this has been our review of Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 8, The Right Side Up. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified for all of our latest live stream movie reviews. My name has been Austin.
My name is Josiah. Thank you to Genobi, Travis, Mikhail, KC, at Glob. Man, I think there was an MK.
Oh, what's up,
here
Glob921D1F?
as well.
What's up?
Earl. Sorry if we've missed you. Yeah, so many people. Thank you. Yeah, MCK, Merrick, Wolf again. Yeah, thank you guys coming on in.
I think we got everybody
Talking with us.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being live and active in the live chats. You've made this a lot of fun for us. We hope you guys have had fun. We appreciate all your contributions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward to seeing you again. We're going to talk about some more movies. Normally, January is kind of like the dumpster fire month for movie releases. Like the movies that studios anticipate they're going to take a loss on, they normally release in the month of January. There's a really old episode of Half in the Bag by Red Letter Media, and they had this whole episode. Hey, guess what? It's FU. It's January, and they're just reviewing all like the bad movies from January, and it's actually really funny. If you can find it, it's super funny. I highly recommend that episode. But I may want to take advantage of that opportunity just to review some stuff like 100 meters and maybe some other things that we might not get a chance to talk about when we have busier months. November and December were very, very busy months for us, and we're really happy that you guys came along and joined us. And so we anticipate things will start to pick up in right around February, in March. Definitely by April, things start picking up.
Who knows though? There may be some really cool things that wind up popping up here in January, and hopefully we catch it.
So,
other than that, like still wanting to maybe watch Mari Supreme before.
Yeah, that was another movie. We might go. I might go and see that too. So yeah. So we'll let you know. We'll keep you posted. But yeah, that's been our review of Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 8, The Right Side Up. We're glad that you guys could join us. Super grateful for you guys. Come join us next time. If there's nothing else, then we will sign out. God bless you. The Lord bless and keep you. May his light shine upon you. Have a wonderful week, and we hope to see you next time. Peace.
Peace, guys. Peace. Oh no, I'm going back. Oh no.